Most importantly, we have to be thinking about indirect sales, redistribution, and partners if we want to set ourselves up for success. Hi there, Kelsey Toner here, the founder of Guest Focused Tour Business Coaching, where every day myself and our team of experienced tour business operators are helping you build a thriving, profitable tour business. Welcome back to our series on how to price tours, activities, and experiences for profit. In this video, we're going to be looking specifically at tour commissions, OTAs, and indirect sales. So we've already introduced the cost plus pricing framework, as well as shared our tour pricing calculator. But what we need to do now is what many tour businesses overlook, which is building in a percentage for distribution. This is going to give us flexibility to tap into some of the channels that can help grow our business right from the get-go. At its core, distribution or indirect sales is simple. It happens when someone helps you sell your tours. These partners bring you customers who might otherwise be difficult to reach, and in exchange, you pay them typically through commission. Typical distribution channels might include online travel agencies like Viator or Get Your Guide or many other niched online marketplaces. For day tour operators, the commission is typically between 25 and 30%. Travel advisors and travel agents are another source, and they typically have high-value clients and personalized service with commission ranging between 10 and 15%. Local partners like hotels, visitor centers, or complimentary attractions are very regional and locally focused, and they're often giving targeted recommendations to visitors in your area. Commissions range, but anywhere from 10 to 15%. One common misconception is that direct bookings, i.e. people who book through your website or call the office or email or chat, are free, while indirect sales or commissions paid to online travel agents, for example, are expensive. Now, I just want to take a step back and recognize here that no customers are free. Your cost of acquisition is essentially the marketing efforts, the energy, the time, the resources that you put in to acquire the attention and ultimately a purchase from a customer. So there's no such thing as a free lunch. When you start adding up website development fees, SEO optimization, paid ad campaigns, social media marketing, email marketing, etc., this can easily be 12%, 15% of your annual operating expenses. So there's no such thing as essentially free customer acquisition. That being said, with online travel agents that want to charge 25 or 30%, we want to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success. Keep in mind that you are only paying that commission when they bring you a customer, meaning this is essentially a performance-based marketing spend if you want to spin it another way, meaning you only have to pay that commission when they bring in the customer. They are taking on the marketing risk. Typically, when partnering with an online travel agent, you're also partnering with someone who has a lot more sophistication and volume and access to customer bases that you yourself, even with your direct marketing efforts, are likely not to reach. So the smartest approach isn't necessarily choosing between direct and indirect sales channels, but actually trying to come up with a blend of all of them. Many of our tour business coaches are helping members of our program add additional distribution channels to add more legs to the stool. Not only does this add more possibility for growth, but it adds more stability and resilience to your tour and activity business. So with those caveats aside, how should we set ourselves up for success when we're doing pricing for our tours, activities, and experiences? Well, here we're going to introduce the concept of a blended commission rate. Put another way, this is the weighted average of commission that you'll pay across all of your booking channels. Essentially, the formula looks like this. Firstly, list each distribution channel and its commission rate, including your direct sales, which have a 0% commission rate. 2, estimate the percentage of bookings that comes from each. And 3, multiply each percentage by that corresponding commission. To help you out with this, we've actually built a table to help you calculate your blended commission rate inside of our day tour pricing calculator. Now, if you haven't got a copy of that yet, you can go to guestfocus.com/pricing. Essentially, this is a free gift from us and our coaching team to help you have success with pricing. So let's dive in and have a look. So here we are inside of the tour pricing calculator. We're on tab number 2, where we had created this example tour, Kelsey's Fabulous Food Tour. In tab 3, we'd actually gone in and put in some of the annual operating expenses for our tour company as well. But let's go back and scroll down to this table right here, where we're going to calculate our average commission rate. So running along the top, we have the source of those particular sales. We have the commission that we pay on them, and then we have the estimated volume of that source. As with the rest of the calculator, Green means go. You can go ahead and change these amounts to suit your business. And the red is going to auto-calculate your weighted commission and your tour business blended commission. So let's start simply here. For Kelsey's tour business here, we're going to say that the commission is of course 0 on direct sales, and our volume, let's say, is 30%. Now, if it was 50% direct sales, I would very quickly change that. But of course, we want our total volume to be 100%. So that's that auto calculation down there at the bottom. So in a simple example, let's say we've got 50% direct sales with a 0% commission, and 50% of our sales come through, let's say, Viator, and we pay a 25% commission. So as we multiply this out, our tour business blended commission rate is actually 13%, if not 25%. That means on average, this 13% of our revenue goes towards commissions across all channels. But as you can imagine, as the commission and volume percentage shift, our weighted commission will shift as well. So let's say we do only 25% of our sales direct, and then the 15% and 10% come from hotels where we pay a 10% commission, and partners, well, let's say we pay 12% to some of our partners. This is going to auto-calculate the weighted commission, which has now jumped up to 15%. So where are we going to input this 15%? Well, if we scroll over and come down, you'll see the average blended commission rate or average commission rate here. So we can now put in that 15%. So just to take a step back so we're clear on what we're figuring out here, it's what is the average amount of commission that we're paying, but based on volume. So if you imagine the two extreme examples, let's say you do all direct sales and you have no partners, well, that number is going to be 0 because on average, we're not paying any commission to anybody. However, if 80% or 100% of your sales come through Viator or Airbnb experiences or tours by locals, then it's important to put that calculation in there. And in that case, if it's 100%, it's very likely going to be a lot closer to that 25% commission. So let's dive in and see the impact that this number has on our overall profitability. So with an average blended commission rate of 15% right away that we see on this $105 ticket, well, on average, $15.75 of it is going elsewhere. So as you can imagine, we can even just zero this out to quickly see how that updates the table down below. Our gross profit margin is now going to shift significantly. Putting that 15% back in, if we go back over to our annual operating expenses and profit, and we start looking at our net profit margin, wow, that 15% average commission has suddenly put us into the hole. We're now losing, we're sub 8%. Whereas before, if we zeroed that out, we go back to our profit, hey, we had a 10% profit margin. So this is the importance of having your average blended commission rate built into your pricing. So let's put this 15% in here, but we don't want to be in the red. So right away, it would probably make sense to jump up the price to accommodate for these resellers. So let's adjust this price from $105 to $125. Now we can see the impact on our gross profit margin down here on the bottom, but more importantly, we'll now see, okay, we are back into a roughly 9 to 10% profit margin where we're gonna have an extra $7,000. Again, after we've covered all of our annual operating expenses, we are still going to have this much as a margin. And as you can see, as we adjust our ticket price, we can move that net profit margin up or down. Okay, so what are some of our key takeaways? Well, most importantly, we have to be thinking about indirect sales, redistribution, and partners if we want to set ourselves up for success. Or put another way, if we don't build in this type of commission when we're doing our pricing, we're really limiting ourselves. We're hamstringing our ability to work with some of those partners. And those could be local partners, those could be wholesalers, it could be accessing the travel trade industry and tapping into niche online travel agencies. We want to set ourselves up for success by building that margin in right from the start. Additionally, it's important to understand how these are ultimately costs to your business. So with a cost plus pricing calculator like we've shown here, it's important that we factor in those costs right from the get-go and that those costs are specific to your distribution. What percentage comes from direct sales? What percentage comes from OTAs that might have a higher commission rate? And as you've seen, if what we're looking at is lowering some of those costs in our business, if we can lower our weighted average commission rate, well, our business is going to be more profitable. If we can move from maybe an over-reliance, let's say on Viator or Get Your Guide, where 80% of our bookings are coming through that channel, if we can drop that down to a more even 50-50 split, we are going to have more profit to work with. We are decreasing our costs. But of course, we are sometimes offsetting those commission costs with marketing spend. Like we said before, if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, one of the best things to do is download a copy of the calculator for yourself and start putting in your own numbers for your own commission, for your own fixed and variable costs. Now, we also know that this is a very simplistic calculator and it's not meant to fit all the various types of businesses that you run with the various different products, but hopefully it can give you the core concepts that are going to help set you up for success when pricing. Before you go, let me know in the comments down below if you have a question or concern. We'd love to support you. If you found this useful, if you have a colleague, a friend, or someone who might benefit from it as well, it would mean the world to us if you could share it with them. If you're following us here on YouTube, a like, a subscribe, a notification bell for the next video in this series. We highly recommend it. Thanks so much for being here, and we'll see you in the next video.